Darkflow, we gotta talk about bombing runs, guys. Now, there's a lot of mechanics in Enlisted that are hated. Planes, gray zone tanks, grenade launchers, explosive pack spam, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that a lot of people hate. But bombing runs beat them all in terms of sheer hatred. I've never seen so many people across Reddit, the Discords, all the forums that hate bombing runs so much. It's like the one thing that really brings everyone together is just the hatred of bombing runs. I mean, genuinely, in their latest post where they talked about the addition of bombing runs coming to all the different campaigns, I don't know anyone that was excited about this. I didn't see a single person across any of the news posts that was excited about this. It was everyone just complaining and saying, please don't do this. And at first, bombing runs were just kind of a gimmick, right? When they were announced, it was just something that everyone was like, oh, okay, like, sure, it's just in Stalingrad. It's kind of a cool little gimmicky thing. And if you don't like it, just don't play Stalingrad. You don't need to play Stalingrad anyway. And yeah, it sucks getting killed by them, but again, you just play a different campaign and it's fine. But with their inclusion in the Pacific and soon to be added to the original 4 campaigns, it's high time we talk about just how awful bombing runs truly are and offer my personal solution for how they can be fixed. So let's start off with why they suck. At the end of the day, bombing runs are just not interactive. They're poorly designed, okay? One player just presses 7 and they get to pick a giant AoE and drop it on the objective, and the enemy team just kind of has to wait there for 2 minutes until the run goes off, or they have to move in and get blown to pieces. God forbid they're the defenders and then they get blown to pieces trying to just stay inside of an objective. Even worse, if it's an open objective, they just get blown to bits and then the enemy team walks on it because there's no friendly fire from them. So there's nothing interesting about that. There's no back and forth. There's no counterplay. There's no skill or decision making involved at all. You just drop this massive strike area on the objective and then call it a day, and everyone else just has to deal with it. Bombing runs are cool and flashy, yeah, but that wears off after the 3rd time you see it happen, and certainly wears off after you get blown up by it for the 4th, 5th, 6th time in a single match. Now, yeah, bombing runs can be shot down theoretically, but I mean, guys, you try shooting down 5 Ju-188s, all of which have 20mm defensive gunners, and you're in a single P-51 with 50 cals. Spoiler alert, guys, it's not happening. Those gunners are going to rip your plane to pieces before you can get anywhere close, and even if they didn't, even if those gunners just magically died, you'd still run out of ammo before you'd be able to take out more than 1, 2, or maybe 3 of those bombers. So where does that leave us? Well, my solution is fairly simple. We already have smoke artillery in the game that allows us to draw a line to dictate where that smoke drops. I suggest that Darkflow uses this same system to allow us to draw a path that a single bomber will fly in and drop bombs on. The call-in is now skill-based, since we'd have to decide where to drop those bombs if we want to cut off reinforcements, maybe hit an enemy rally point, maybe we know there's some enemies in a certain area, we have those bombs drop there. It's more avoidable since it doesn't cover the entire objective, right? You can't just drop it on an objective and call it a day and it kills everybody within a 35-mile radius. And finally, a fighter is now able to shoot it down since it's just 1 bomber instead of 5. This seems to me like it's a really elegant and good solution that would fix bombing runs and make them overall a lot better and more interesting to players to use and fight against, instead of what we have now where it's just really uninteractive and you just kind of have bombs drop on your head without very much counterplay involved, right? But we're still able to retain that kind of awesome destructive power that the current bombing runs have, right? You still get to have that bombing run comes in, and maybe you can even make that single bomber carry a heavier payload, right? Make it to where, air raid sirens go off as soon as it's called in, and then players have a short amount of time to where they could go get a fighter and shoot it down to offer even more counterplay. But then the bombing run has even more destructive capabilities. Whatever it is, I think that it's a better system than we have now where you just kind of get blown up and there's not really anything you can do about it. And the game's oftentimes just evolved into every 4 minutes having bombing runs dropped from both teams onto the objective. But that's it, guys. That's my thoughts on bombing runs. I hope Darkflow takes this to heart and makes some changes in the game. Because, like I said before, guys, it's really bad. And I don't know anybody that likes these things. Maybe maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there's a subset of players out there who really do enjoy these things. And if there is, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know your guys' thoughts on bombing runs. I'd love to hear them. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.